Welcome to the Spinfoil Theory podcast. Each week we sit down and discuss our favorite lore topics from within the Destiny universe. Specifically, we intend to take a close look at target questions and theories that have been nagging us and the Destiny community as a whole. To that end, our discussions tend to assume you already have some background knowledge of Destiny lore. Despite that, our goal is to be as lighthearted and welcoming as possible, though. So if you have any questions, please feel free to add us. Well, with that out of the way, let's dive into this week's lore topic.
Perfect.
Okay. You ready to kick her off?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Let's do it. Welcome to the Spinfoil Theory podcast. This is your host, Taylor-B, and your other host, LadyLucida. How you doing, Lucy?
Doing pretty good, pretty good. It's a beautiful day outside. It's really sunny here in Seattle.
Nice.
Weird. It's weird. It normally doesn't get, like, really sunny. It only gets like this, like, maybe, like, 2 weeks out of the year. So we don't really have summer.
You just kind of have, like, what? Extended spring,
Like-
or?
Pretty much. It's like extended spring. I dig it. I dig it.
Okay. That sounds nice. Actually. Out here, summer, especially as summer goes on, it just gets, like, hotter and more humid. Usually today's pretty nice, though, here, too. On the other side of the country in DC. So, nice.
Interesting. That's cool.
Yeah. Oh, man. So, this week, everyone, we have a bit of a rabbit hole episode for you where we're going to kind of explore a lot of the popular ideas and, posts that people have made on raid secrets and other parts of the Destiny community and try to work out what we think the next darkness subclasses are going to be, or maybe at least, like, explore the ideas that other people have had. And it's pretty exciting because when, like you were pointing out to me, Lucy, before the show, I think, when you hover over like stasis, it says darkness subclasses.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it also makes sense from, like, we will have 3 light subclasses and 3 dark subclasses for that, like, equal balance that we kind of are striving for, because like the Exo Stranger says, like, if you're, like, she came from the dark future and everyone there used stasis, and before stasis here everyone just used light, so it's kind of like we need to get this balance of light and dark. Not too much light, because if there's too much light it's blinding, but if there's too much dark you can't see. You gotta have that balance.
We need the Goldilocks
Healthy
amount of powers.
Light. Exactly.
Just the right amount.
Just the right amount.
I like that. Very
Okay.
zen.
Very zen, yes. Zen. Yeah.
Balance. I dig it.
Balance.
I dig
But
it.
yeah.
Well, which one would you like to dive into first?
Ooh. I'm down for Witch. Personally, I really... Because we know with Witch Queen coming out soon, TM. I mean, I know we still have a season between now and Witch Queen. At least, if not...
I really hope
season?
when
I
we
don't
get
know,
there.
like, we haven't really, like, explained, like, how that's gonna work, because, like, if Witch Queen comes out in February, that means the season 15, the next season, is gonna be either super duper duper long, like Season of Arrivals, or it's gonna be 2 smaller seasons. I don't know.
I
I
just
just
really
want
hope.
clarification, Bungo.
I just really hope when we get to one of them, the title of the season is actually redacted.
That would be funny.
Welcome to
That would be
Season
really
of the
fun.
Redacted.
Yes.
And it's all about doing,
That would be
like,
fun.
espionage stuff. Like Owl Sector, maybe.
Yes. Owl Sector and Ikora's Hidden,
Mhm.
Super Spies.
Mhm.
That'd be fun. That'd be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Hunters would probably be really good at that, because they can turn invisible. Come on.
Yeah.
Unfair advantage for Hunters.
We just need
What-
to
what-
bring back patience and time, then everyone can do it.
I dig it. I dig it.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, like, a popular theory, a lot of people are like, hey, Witch Queen, Hive's themed subclass. Like Soulfire. That's what I want. That's what I want. I want Soulfire, because I think the Hive are neat. They're my favorite. So, like, I'm a little biased.
Just a little biased.
Only slightly. Only, like,
Just
200% biased. Only 200%. Small amount. 200. Very small number.
I feel like Soulfire, just, you know, if it's, like, really Hive themed, like, I feel like that would be... You know, because I don't know how much of the sword logic would translate, but that feels like one that, like, the longer you're up and, like, killing stuff, like, the stronger you would become.
Technically, yeah, I mean, that is... I mean, what's kind of funny is, technically speaking, we Guardians technically do sword logic. Technically. Because we kill things, and we get stronger as a result. Like, the Hive, the Acolyte, or the Thrall kill enough to feed their worm, and they give the rest to the Acolytes, and so forth and so forth. But if you're a Thrall and you kill enough, you become an Acolyte. Or whatever, an Acolyte. And then from an Acolyte, you can choose to be a Knight or a Wizard. And then from there, the progression goes. You can eventually, if you're a Wizard, become a Death Singer, if you got the vocals for it. Or if you're a Knight, you can become a Dark Blade, which is those big knights with the big axes. That if you shoot their head off.
And I want to say it's once they pick that morph, that's when they can go Ascendant, too. Like, I want to say anything you kill, once you kill before then... Like, I know Thrall definitely do not have an Ascendant realm. Like, they are just dead.
I think only, like, you gotta be, like, the cream of the crop. Big guys to have an Ascendant. Like, because Nokris didn't have one. I don't think. No, he did. Here's the thing, he kind of kept, like, bringing himself back to life to get enough tribute to kind of circumvent and make his own Ascendant plane. So that's why technically that strike, when it was available, us killing him over and over, was technically canon. It's weird how some strikes' repeatability is canon, like killing... Fikrul, I was just gonna say Fikrul, the Fanatic, and also Nokris. Zol... We don't talk about Zol. That strike doesn't exist.
I watch too much Always Sunny because I always call him the Frenetic.
The Frenetic, oh my god.
every time I go into that strike, I was like, alright man, guys, we gotta kill the Frenetic.
We need help. Stop. Get some help.
One of my favorites.
But yeah. But yeah, I would really hope we get a Soulfire themed subclass, but looking at it logistically, like how we would acquire it, I think, like, maybe...
Well, I feel like Titans and Warlocks would probably be worked out. Like, I imagine Warlocks would probably have something closer to like a Hive Wizard type of thing. Like, you know, obviously I don't think they'll be sending the firebolts at you quite as fast out of their hands, but I think Knights
That'll be their melee ability. And
I feel like... I'm sorry.
I don't know. I just meant, like, like, story-wise, like, how, like, with Beyond Light, there was, like, a reason, like, we have stasis because, you know, there's, like Elsie said, everyone has a little bit of darkness in them. And we were, like, kind of gifted stasis by the pyramid ships.
Well, I'm sorry. Yeah, please. No, you're about to drop. You continue, please.
Okay. You can just cut this part out. But anyways, what's interesting though, since the Darkness pyramids, or the Black Fleet pyramid ships, Darkness Doritos, as I like to jokingly call them, they gave us stasis as a gift, which is really kind of against what, I mean, Darkness giving gifts, kind of strange in my opinion, but whatever. They're trying to convince us to be evil, and so far it's kind of been working for some Guardians. For us, the chosen one, in air quotes, we're just, like, super cool. So we aren't corrupted by the darkness, at least not yet. But I'm just curious about how we would actually go about acquiring this said... If it was Soulfire, for example. Like, how would we get Soulfire? Like, would Savathun give it to us?
Well, I wonder... Well, maybe not Savathun, but I mean, I would I would actually kind of offer that the end of the Light and Dark saga, especially with there being, more subclasses on the horizon, I don't think we're going to get 2 in one release. To I think a point you either said during or before the show. But I don't like, especially with like the points of like, light and darkness perception thereof. It's not the light or the dark that's good or bad. It's the players in the game.
Yes, it's the people who wield it, because we've had people who are light bearers do bad things, like the warlords, and we've had people who use stasis, but for bad things too. But we also have people using it and still being good people. Like, just because you use stasis doesn't mean, oh, I'm Satan, I'm evil, I'm the worst. It's the person. I think Shax had a really good point when stasis was first introduced. He said it's not, if you use stasis and be a monster, it wasn't stasis that made you a monster. You were a monster to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, and that's pretty true for him too.
I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what he said.
I mean, it backs up how you've had the original and then the Dredgens thereof your allowed to run through the Crucible. It's how he doesn't go after the Drifter dabbling in stuff with the Nine and Taken and all that stuff. So it's I think that fits that Shax especially would be like, no, it's not, because he runs the Crucible, right? And he's just like, it's not the weapon, it's you. It's not the power of the subclass, it's you.
No, I wholeheartedly agree.
Before we get too far away from it, though, I was gonna say for Soulfire, like Knights to Titans translates pretty similarly, easily. The one I'm worried about is Hunters. Like, I'm not sure what you would put, because otherwise it's just acolytes and they suck.
Yes, acolytes suck. Yeah, no, that's the same thing that they kind of had in D1 with the Hive armor in D1. Like, Warlocks, just give them like a wizard, like the wizard's armor, and just give them like more give the Titans more like Knights. Hunters, I don't know.
I guess acolytes.
Like, Hunters, I guess, kind of give them some cool looking acolyte stuff. Like, that's the thing. Hunters kind of are like a mesh of like amalgamation, because Hunters, they see something shiny, they're like crows, they just take it. They're like, ooh, shiny, I want that. And they just kind of duct tape it to their arms. They're like, sweet, armor.
It's
got
true.
armor. There we go. That's what Hunters do, man.
If you leave food out for us, we'll bring you shiny things.
Exactly. There you go. But yeah, so I think you do have a point there. It is kind of, with at least Soulfire, it's kind of tricky. But I think if you just, not necessarily Soulfire, but Poison, because if you look at the actual like thematics of like the light subclasses, they're all, hold on, I have to pull up the Reddit post for this, because I do not know. I mean, I may work at NASA, but doesn't mean I know physics. I just develop the software for the science people to use. I don't do anything. Yeah, so basically, like, for example, with the other subclasses, solar is basically, plasma, in like looking at it like an elemental sort of basis. It's like plasma with fire, heat, Yeah. One of the Warlocks' literal grenades is here, have a pocket sun. So, that kind of stuff. Arc is basically like, excited electrons with like electricity, that sort of thing. Obviously, as you see,
it's unlimited power. Let's be honest.
Basically. And then Void is more of a like subtle gravity manipulation. We have like the vortex nades and that kind of stuff. And then Stasis is, well, yes, it may look like ice. It's not. It's a phenomenon called perfect crystals, where they reach absolute zero. Really fascinating stuff, but...
Okay,
so
So I have a quick question about that because this has always bugged me, and maybe you can give me some insight.
Okay.
So the perfect crystals are those still like, is that still like moisture? Are they like, I get that what they're doing is not ice, but like they're kind of like, is ice a byproduct of what they're doing?
Well, a perfect crystal is basically a... How do I explain a perfect crystal? According to Google, at least. I'll just read the definition there, because that definition is much better than anything I can explain. Basically, perfect crystal is a crystal that contains no... Like, there's no defects at all. It's like, literally, when it means perfect, like, there's nothing wrong with it. Like, it's like, pure, I guess. If that makes sense. I don't know.
But what's it made of?
Perfect crystals, it's basically a crystalline material, mainly metal or alloys, but also other materials, I guess.
Okay.
Science!
Yeah, because I'm trying to visualize, like generating it, or they're, like, grabbing it, like, ambiently and saying, like, this is mine now?
Yes.
Because I always wondered, the one part that, like, I get it for all the planets and stuff, like, there's, like, stuff in there. The one part that I always wondered is when you're doing spacewalks and you do something like that, is it, like, also just in...
Well, you have to remember, Guardians are Paracals, and we can just summon stuff from nothing.
That's true.
We break the laws of physics. Like, physics go bye-bye. That's why we can just summon like, warlocks with their solar nade. They can just summon a fusion nade out of nothing, basically.
That is true.
Science. Yeah. So, like,
yeah.
If you think of it, instead of like it being more of a poison, have it be like, I guess, more of a radioactive-esque, poison-esque.
I was actually thinking maybe more vampiric. That would be cool.
Yeah.
It would give you that, because, like, if the whole thing is, like, making you stronger, like hive type stuff, you know, like feeding your, not your worm, you're feeding yourself now. You know what I mean? Like, or maybe it's like an, oh god, if it ends up being like an Ahamkara thing where you can do it with a dead husk.
Ooh,
without actually ingesting it.
Yeah.
That would also be cool. But yeah, I'm just wondering if, like, you know, kind of like how the thorn would have the tick. What if that tick just, like, gave you health back?
Possibly.
I mean, that might be broken as... It'd probably be broken as fuck, everyone. So please don't, like, be like right in and be like, thanks, Satan Taylor-B. Most broken class idea. I would think it would cool though, because I know one thing the hunters would have. Whatever they throw, that knife would basically be the thorn bullet.
That's what I'm saying. Like warlocks already have the thorn, basically the necrotic grips, which are basically thorn gauntlets, and they synergize really well with thorn. So, if we can just have, I'm jealous of warlocks for getting those because I'm a hunter, and I want. Can I just like kill a warlock and take their poison gloves and wear them? I don't care. I'll do it. I'll do it.
Oh man, I feel like that's, for all the D&D fans, I feel like that's exactly how a warlock gets started. Like, a patron just hears that, like, I would totally kill someone for those powers. Like,
I would kill...
Oh yeah.
Oh, you rang? You rang?
Yeah. Yeah, don't worry about this. I'm what? Infernal? Oh, don't worry about that. This will be fine.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, because, and then if you do, I remember people on Reddit when we first got Stasis did color theory, where they take the colors of the icons for, you know, Solar, Arc, and Void, and if you invert Solar, you get Stasis. The exact same color as Stasis. So Solar and Stasis are kind of entwined. And if you look at Arc and do the same thing, it gets this, like, green color. So that's why people are thinking the next subclass is Poison. Also, it fits thematically with Witch Queen, too.
Mm.
Which also makes sense, because if you think about Decay, it's literally the opposite of Arc. Arc, in like a real science sense, is excited electrons, and decay is literally the opposite.
In a way, it almost feels like stasis kind of hits on there too, though, because it's like slowing things down.
I mean, kind of, but it just slows things to an absolute zero, which is
pretty cold.
Which is cold. And I know I literally just said stasis isn't ice, but it looks like ice because...
Being cold doesn't make it ice, and I stand by that.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like there's a few great over time comics, like where like Mr. Freeze and Captain Cold of the DC universe have like faced off about each other, and Captain Cold wins every time. Because he's like, you just freeze things. Like, I have a cold gun. Like, just like wrecks him. Oh.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's kind of different.
Yeah, it's very funny. Very funny.
But yeah, no.
But speaking of like poisonous stuff, I feel like maybe that green, or maybe sort of maybe counterpart to that could also be a lot of people were talking about, especially last season, like maybe like a fungus base, or like that stuff on the Glycon sort of subclass. I don't know if you recall.
Maybe.
Yeah, last season there was a lot of talk about a possible like subclass based on what we found
in the Glycon.
Yeah, as we move through. Sort of like this weird growth. Like the more I think about it, the more it seems like this like really like
sickly kind of.
It feels like a fast growing plant that came in from the Ascendant Plane. Or like a fast growing like fungus thing, and it's just like messing everything that it touches up.
It's like the Flood.
Kinda. Actually, yeah. Yeah, also like the Flood.
Me.
Yeah.
The Flood scares me, man.
The Flood?
Nightmare fuel.
Oh, don't play Last of Us.
Whoops.
Like okay. the entire enemy is based like it's that fungus thing I was mentioning I think before the show, but cordyceps. I think that's the name. I'll look it up before the end of the show because I always mess this up. But they're this fungus that basically what's going on in the game is like everyone's getting infected by this fungus, and it starts off with like sort of like rage, kind of like zombie-esque like syndromes, but like the more time goes on, they're just like overgrown with this fungus, and they will either pop and infect everyone else, or they're just like right before then they're just covered in so much like hardened fungus that they're like really hard to kill.
That.
Yeah.
I could see that, but yeah.
I don't know if that'd be a subclass material, but like it's scurry.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely think like maybe because we've seen the Glycan, the stuff on the inside of the Glycan. That same stuff is on the inside of Drifter's ship, and on whatever creepy darkness planet that he and his crew went to, but they then all lost their light because of these strange darkness creatures. And then he killed them all. Because they all fought everyone else.
Well, I also...
Like that was...
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, I also kind of wondered if maybe that stuff had come through. Because I've always wondered, there's never seemed to be any reprisal to the Nine using the Taken. And just given what we've thought about the Nine up until now, it's always been really interesting that Savathun's never had a problem with
that's
with
the
them
thing.
using
They're
the
not
Taken. So I'm wondering if they're actually
not,
the Taken. Yeah.
They're fake Taken. They're not real Taken.
They're faking?
They're faking, yes.
Okay, so what if that's with that stuff? What if, like, facsimile-wise, same thing? Maybe it's something that spills out when... Because he summoned it inside the ship. He summoned those little guys with his darkness motes.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering if maybe that's a byproduct of, like, Taken spilling in that can get out of control if you let it, or like under the right circumstances. Because there was also that whole like weird ceremony thing going on on the glycon.
Yeah, with the Chronosaurus, which is now in the last city.
And it's weird.
Thanks,
now the last
Osiris. Thanks.
So weird that now the last city's looking all taken.
Yes. It's not terrifying at all. No.
No, it's not weird. It's not weird. Oh, man. All part of a plan, I'm sure. Whose? I don't know. But all part of a plan. But yeah, so I think that could be an interesting byproduct too. Yeah. So, looking over some of these posts, though, there's some really interesting ones about the subclasses, and it's pretty interesting. Like this one that seems to be about alchemy.
Oh yeah, because of the reason people were saying, hey, it could be alchemy based was because of if you looked at the armor that they showed off for Witch Queen, which now has had some tweaks to it, so kind of take the alchemy stuff with a grain of salt. But I still think it's really interesting to see like what the community has come up with.
Yeah.
For like possible ideas. My biggest worry is everyone's gonna get so hyper fixed on Hive, Soulfire, Poison that when Bungie says, here's the next subclass, and it's not one of those, that people are gonna complain.
Well, it's really interesting too because a lot of the ideas in this sort of alchemy one is based off a sort of pulled, I guess like a little bit of code. Yeah. So it's like vapor element, DOT type. Beat, think thorn, like ooh.
Yeah, definitely.
That could be interesting. Although, I wonder, I wonder how, because especially like with your idea of or the idea you mentioned of a like poison or like mists, something like that. I feel like poisonous gas is definitely it's something we even, because what is it that the poison gas for the hunter void subclass is like it came back. I remember it was one of the things you could do in D1, and we didn't have it at first in D2, but it's the with the spectral blades, I think.
Yeah, where you could
the wombo combo?
I think you're talking about like how one of the melee abilities is poison, or
it's your smoke grenade does a DOT. Yeah.
Yeah. That, and then Thorn also does damage over time. And then Necrotic Grips, again, do damage over time. So I think definitely a Necrotic Grip damage over time themed subclass. It's a logical conclusion, I guess. I think, because, I mean, we're Witch Queen is the next expansion we're getting. It's Hive themed. Even if you looked at the actual, like, art when they announced it, Beyond Light background was ice. We got an ice-themed subclass. Witch Queen has, like, hive poison. So people think it's a poison subclass. And then Lightfall, we don't know about Lightfall. Lightfall's a bunch of question marks. A bunch of question marks and red string and us looking at the wall like, what the hell?
You have the power. You have the power in the season of the redacted to change history and redact things. Just halt information.
Yes.
That's exactly how it goes down. Yeah, that could be really cool. And I think looking at the post now, this post that I'm looking at is posted by you Gormunko_88. By the way, everyone.
Don't worry, these will be in the show notes. We'll link to all of these.
Yeah, but it's also worth saying in case you get your listener only. But they're kind of suggesting Vapor would make sense of a middleman, sort of between like a radioactive and poison, and that's interesting too when you think of like radioactive clouds and things that Vapor and sort of like moisture in the air can carry.
Mustard gas. Yay, we're committing war crimes.
Oh no. You know,
Not like we already do.
you know what? You know, it's the one casualty of gas warfare that no one talks about.
What?
Most militaries before that would allow you to have facial hair, but they had to stop doing it. You had to start shaving because
that's why
of
Guardians
masks.
can't have beards. There you go.
Yeah, because
Guardians
you don't get as tight of a seal with your gas mask.
You wear your helmet. That's why Guardians can't have beards, guys, because you gotta have the tight seal on your helmet, otherwise you'll die.
Yep. That's
Mustard gas. There we go. That's why. Bungie was doing some 4D chess there. They're like, we can't let them have beards because in like the 5th release of Destiny 2 or whatever, we're gonna add in a poison subclass, and if we do that, then they will.
I do want the beards though, I'm not gonna lie.
No beard, sorry.
But beards.
No beard, sorry. Guardians are cleanly shaven because reasons no one knows. But yeah, no. Everything's fine. It's fine. Just cry. That's what I do.
So,
I hope at some point Bungie allows us to change what our characters look like.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. I would definitely have a beard. I think it'd give my guy
2014 me does not have the same stylistic choices as 2021 me.
What?
Now
I don't know if I've seen what your Guardian looks like with the helmet off.
That's why they will always stay on. Forever.
Oh man, how purple is
Well,
everything?
they don't look bad. They don't look bad. It's like really nitpicky things. Like I wanted to change like the hair color of one of my Guardians. I wanted to change like something else of like it's like a nitpicky. Like it's not that bad. It's just with the whole when they did the change. Where they're like, oh, we changed the faces to make them look better now. My poor Titan. Her, like, skin color, I say with air quotes, because, you know, they're robots. It got all wonky. It looks really weird. But I don't want to delete my Titan, because that means I'd have to go reacquire stasis again.
Oh, jeez, no.
That was, yeah, you'd have to go, yeah, no. Just thinking about
never
that,
again.
No, please. I've done that on all 3 of my characters. Please, no. So I know Bungie said they look like it's something they want to do, but it's just more of a technical. Have to figure it out because of their spaghetti code.
Yeah, I'm not sure how it would. I'm not sure what hurdles they would have to overcome to really.
Yeah, because like you can technically like right now you only create your character exactly one time, and that's right when you click create new character. And that's it. That's the only time you can ever edit a character. Is that? It's not even edit. It's when you're making your character. So it's like.
And I don't think that would bug me as much if there were more options in that initial start. Like if it were just the presets or something, like yeah.
Yeah, like a lot of MMOs, like I'm just gonna use Star Wars Old Republic. That's the only MMO I've really like delved into a lot. Is like you can create your character, and then there's these like character customizing things that you can just go to, and you can change your character. You can't change your gender, something you can't change, but you can change your species because there's different races. So like, there's like. Human, there's Twi'lek, etc., etc. You can change all of that, but it costs like cartel coins, which is their version of silver. But you can earn silver through just unlocking achievements and stuff. So,
well, that's what's up.
It's interesting, yeah. I guess. And they also have like different options that you can buy for again cartel coins or their game's version of silver.
Sounds kind of like
you could give. Kinda, yeah. Like there's like extra customizations. Do they do anything? No. But do you feel cool? Yeah. That's the whole point, is to feel cool.
I mean, absolutely. Who doesn't want to be a blue guy fighting for the Empire?
Exactly.
That's right.
The Empire's cooler, anyways.
Well,
yeah.
Exactly. I mean, yeah. The TIE series is just a better ship. Let's be honest.
Yes, obviously. But yeah, anyway, back to Destiny. Sorry about that little tangent.
It's a rabbit hole. There's no tangents in a rabbit hole.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. That's fair.
That's my new tagline. It's my Marvel enough said.
Yes.
But getting back here, I gotta say, the one thing that really excites me about this potential is I think it'll create a new way to play. Like if creating clouds or like sort of affecting the area that you do, however, because I'm not gonna lie, outside of the hunter, my main class, I'm having a bit of a tough time kind of imagining how some of the well, actually, I take that back. Like, you know, if instead of a rift, they just drop down like this like toxic cloud, the warlocks.
Or have it be like an aspect of
Yeah.
decay or whatever, that when you kind of like how there's that aspect for stasis warlocks where if you put your rift down it freezes people near you, just have it you put your rift down and it poisons people near you.
Like that could be cool. Or in like Titans when they do like a little like charge thing, maybe it leaves like a trail, like a puff of cloud trail behind them.
Farts.
Oh well, yeah, of course it's butt farts. Yeah, no, they.
Everything's farts.
Yeah, anyone who's.
I'm sorry, that's the first thing I thought of.
I mean, look, Titans are supposedly jumping with these jetpacks that I have never seen.
They're on your feet.
That just raises even more questions.
Why? I just have to take a jetpack, step it to my like ankles and my other ankle. I mean, have you seen the exotic that I always use to do jumping puzzles because I'm shit at them?
Well, I feel like rockets probably would work better.
That's what I'm saying. Rocket.
Oh, okay, rockets I'll accept.
There you go. Because I mean, Titan's armor canonically is like really, 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 really heavy. I want someone to start. Line rampants.
Oh yeah. I agree with that. I want someone to start.
That's how all boots are. They just have those jets on the back of them.
Well, guys, I want someone to start drawing Titans with like in the art with like Iron Man movement. They just have little rockets in the hands and feet.
Yes.
That's how they're moving.
Sense. Or we just use paracausality to say screw this, and we just make ourselves float.
Well, no, because what I'm going on, but what I'm going on is that original description in D1.
Okay.
Yeah, when they describe the jump. And that's why I was like, where is this jetpack? Where is it?
It's invisible. It's an invisible jetpack. You don't see it. Sorry.
That sounds pretty sweet, actually. I wish
invisible
I had an invisible jetpack.
You could prank people. You could prank so many people. You could be like, look at me, I'm floating. And they'd be like, oh my god. Be spooky.
What? At least a little spoopy.
Yes.
But, so that could be pretty cool. Another thing is, like, Titans, you know, maybe for the super, when they crash, it's just like this big area effect. Hopefully it's not a roaming super.
Yeah, I'm kind of tired of roaming supers as a Titan. Yeah, that's like 90% of our supers. Let's see. Hey, let's see. Solar, roaming super. Roaming super. Roaming super. Arc, roaming super. One and done, roaming super.
Going
Void,
Superman's real
roaming
fun.
super. Roaming super. Roaming. I mean, Bubble is technically not a roaming super, but you have to hold it to have it be that option. So that's kind of a one and done, but kind of not really. It's dependent. And then Stasis, roaming. So many roaming supers. I'm so tired. Can we give a roaming super to hunters with poison, please, and just have Titans be like a.
So here's a thought.
Like you know the D1 Fist of Panic, how we're just like a one and done. Just do that, but big poison. Just big poison everywhere.
I'm kind of thinking of that, like, boom. Like, it's just like this big cloud. But I'm wondering, like, I know they say it's not ice, but, you know, all the other subclasses have different trees.
Mm-hmm.
And Stasis doesn't. Stasis is kind of built like...
Kind of like how it was in D1.
It's kind of like... Yeah, it reminds me of a lot of that, like, concept art. Actually, like, fans did on back when I would still go to our Destiny the game. Mm-hmm. And it's Yeah, it's like a good hybrid between the two. I think I agree.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see that for all the subclasses. To be honest with you, I'd like to kind of like plug and play some more of my stuff, like in Solar especially. Like if I could pick which knife I threw, I'd be so happy.
Yeah, definitely.
So happy. But it makes me wonder if maybe as opposed to its own outright subclass, maybe like, do you think there's a chance that Vapor could be more of like a tree?
I think it probably is going to be very similar to Stasis with like the different aspects and everything, because it kind of makes sense that light is, you know, kind of like how it is, and then the darkness is, you know, different. It's not just like, oh, it's different flavor of the light subclasses. I think it would probably be better if it was more customizable, a la Stasis style. I think that'd be cool, at least.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm wondering if where you go to get the aspect of Vapor is just going to be like this big sauna.
Yes.
Just
You just go sit in a sauna, and you just are like, damn, Eureka, I've got it.
You just like sweat it out for like a good like half hour. Cutscene later, like montage of just like sweating it out. Then you understand. Go like jump in a lake or something.
Yes.
All right, you heard it here first, folks. The way that we're going into
but yeah, I think
Vapor.
with the only issue, slight issue, is we have like the Dark Vanguard with, you know, Exo Stranger, Eris, and Drifter, and we had Elsie give us Stasis. My guess is it's gonna be Eris is gonna give us, or at least kind of help us get whatever we get in Witch Queen, and then Drifter will ramshackle together some crackpot crazy shenanigans in Lightfall. So then we have like the Light Vanguard and the Dark Vanguard, each teaching us, you know, their respective stuff. So you got the Light Vanguard, which is Zavala, Ikora, and Cough Cough Crow, not yet. And then you have the Dark Vanguard of who I just said before. So
I could see that.
I like the mirror. We have the mirror.
I do like the mirror.
Elsie is definitely a Titan.
Well, yeah,
no, she is.
She's the ringer.
She's very. Oh, she's also that, and she's also like Titans.
Oh no, Elsie's. I think Elsie's a hunter. Because
No. Out of the three, Drifter's the most hunter. Eris is a warlock, and Elsie's the Titan.
Well, yeah, Drifter.
She's doing everything she's doing is she's doing for her sister. And Titans are all about protecting people. They protect the last city. There was the whole Battle of the Six Fronts where six different groups of Titans all held the line. Didn't let anything get behind. Ergo, when I think of Titans, I know a lot of people think Punchy Punch. But also Elsie, when in that cutscene, she did like a Titan slam.
Well, yeah, but that's a hunter subclass thing in Stasis.
Is it?
Yeah, that's
I
Shatter
mean,
Drive.
yeah, with Stasis.
She did a Shatter Drive.
Shatter Dive?
Yeah, Shatter Dive.
I don't know. I don't know.
At least as I saw it, I kind of agree with the other stuff you're saying.
I just think Elsie's a Titan, even though she wears a hunter cloak. She's a hunter, a Titan in disguise.
Look. If she's a Titan, can we at least get that poncho?
Yes, I want the poncho.
Well, not for Titans though. That needs to be a hunter poncho. This is the trade I'm willing to make. I'm delegating for all hunters right now.
But yeah, no. I'm definitely excited to see what the next subclass is. I'm hoping it's gonna be Soulfire though. I really just want Hive. I love Hive. I want my Hive armor back. I want a Hive subclass to match my Hive armor and my Hive ghost and my Hive ship and my Hive sparrow. And I want an exotic that's a Hive sword. Or at least an ornament for a sword that makes it look like a hive sword.
I was gonna say, aren't the original 3 exotic swords technically hive swords?
Technically, but they're not canon. I mean, there's the only the solar one is canon, and that's currently in the possession. Yes, that is currently in the possession of Shax, so we don't have it anymore.
Yeah, we need to ask for that back.
Yes.
I am kind of mad he took that.
Well, I made Dark Drinker, so I kind of have Dark Drinker back as Fallen Guillotine, and then the Arc version is the Arc Sword.
Oh, the sickle. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I have one.
Yeah,
I have a pretty good
Temptation's Hook.
Yeah, and I
and
really
then
like
Solar
that
Sword. You don't get the Solar Sword. I'm sorry, it doesn't exist. I'm sorry. No Solar Sword for you.
Isn't there one that...
Not in D2.
Doesn't one kind of do the uppercut? It's just not the same thing. Yeah. There's nothing exactly like it. Yeah, there's nothing exactly like it. My favorite thing about the Temptation's Hook, though, is I feel like you're throwing sonic booms with a giant highlight glove. Yes. The way it's like curved forward. Just whip it down at people. That's my... Yeah, it's not... I'm not gonna say it's like you know, a shoe-in for every situation, but sometimes when you catch people down a corridor with that thing, it's really fun, because it'll track a little bit.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, it's just so funny. Oh man. I could go for Soulfire. I could go for, especially at the end of the Light and Dark saga, there being some sort of reward for all of our efforts, like maybe different insights in how to use the darkness, because that's really what they're doing. It's not like you have to ingest a worm to do that. That's what they had to do. But, like, obviously she's pretty confident in being able to exist without the worm.
Yes.
And I don't think she'd do anything that made herself, like, a Krill again.
Yeah, that's the thing. If Savathun does get rid of her worm somehow, how does she live? I mean, without the worm, isn't the lifespan of a Krill only 10 years? So then she only has 10 years to live, and then she's dead? Like,
Well, I mean, I don't, like, that's what makes me wonder, but her being, I think she took the mother morph.
Yeah.
That's sort of, so she would live, I think she would have, like, was it 20 or 30? It was like a significantly amount longer when, like, the base is only 10.
Yeah, true.
As I recall it. But yeah, I would if you can remove the worm and the worm dies, does she become a Krill? No, I think she'd be fundamentally changed at this point.
Yeah, I think consuming the worm kind of changes them on the, like an atomic level?
The genetic
almost?
level?
Genetic, yeah, that's what I was looking at. Like, genetically, like, it changed them. Wonder what would happen if a Guardian ate a worm. That's what I want to know.
I feel like we can't.
Volunteers, why not? It's just a tasty snack. It's a snack. A snack.
I feel like when we eat it, we eat it. Like, we could probably just ask the Drifter.
No, exactly. Let's just go ask Drifter. Hey, Drifter, what is it like? Have you eaten a hive worm? Maybe he's like, nah, that's...
You mean hive dumplings?
Exactly!
I could totally see him. I really want to do... Yeah, we should see if we could get like a Chef Drifter account. Just go ham with, like, the Drifter recommends a bechamel. Like, just saying food stuff. Randomly, I think this is what the world needs. Is that too much?
No, I think
Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I think it's great. I'm just really curious and excited, really honestly excited for Witch Queen and next season.
Yeah, Witch Queen will be very cool. I'm very excited to see how this Light and Dark saga really plays out, because we've heard the most we've really heard about its origin has been from unreliable narrators, at least as we know them.
Yes.
And so I kind of want to get to the, if we're pulling it full circle, I can't wait to see how it began.
Oh yeah. What I'm excited for is, like, obviously the new subclass that we're most definitely getting. I hope it's poison themed. Like, even if it's just poison, I'll be happy. Because I think it's cool. I'll be able to infect everyone with poison and laugh maniacally as everything dies around me.
What if it's hilariously cartoonish and what you actually do is give people the vapors and just make them swoon and faint? Oh, oh, the vapors! Oh.
Oh my god! If the subclass is actually called Vapor, there's gonna be so many vape jokes. Oh my lord! Kill me now.
No, I really, if in the off chance, like if this ever got to the ears of Bungie, I really, really hope that there is at least at some point with the release of this subclass, just like just like trying to fan yourself, like yes. Emote, like you've got the vapors, you're hot and bothered. Maybe that's a little funny. Hand fan.
I think there might actually be an emote where you do like a cool off because you're too hot. I think it's sold during like solstice.
Is that the one? I think that one has a mechanical fan. I'm thinking the classic, like you gotta like flap yourself.
Oh, okay, like the classical fan. I see.
Yeah, like the folding kind, or maybe even like that little like
church
fan.
Kind.
Yeah,
the fancy kind.
I would also accept church fan. I would also the little handle on the bottom. But yeah, I think they really have a lot of room, and I'm excited to see because everything we've done so far has been about light and dark in some fashion. Like there's been other players, but like now we really get to explore what else is out there. Like maybe we're not even contained to the solar system anymore.
Yeah. That's what I'm excited for, is like Lightfall and beyond. Because like, assuming we deal with the darkness, what then? It's like, it's almost like the anime, like, you kill God. Okay, how do you go on from that? Like...
Welcome to Sword Art Online.
Oh god. The first season, kill God. Second season, kill God again. It's like, what? It's like, basically, like, it's just gonna keep ramping up and it's gonna get more and more ridiculous to the point where it's just like, okay. That's my worry. That's my worry.
Third.
With Destiny after we kill. Assumingly we conclude the Light and Dark saga, whatever that may entail, whether that's us somehow defeating the darkness. Somehow. I'm not sure how.
I think you know, I think the end of the saga doesn't necessarily mean defeating the darkness or even what it is. I think it either ends the game or it takes out the players. Because the light's in everything too. You don't, like, you're a conduit for like light that you gather and the Traveler's Light. As a guardian. I think similarly you're a conduit for whatever the like the capital the darkness is, and like you know, darkness, air quotes, powers is like, you know, everyone has it in them. You're just a like someone's like funneling it through you right now. And so I think once you take your sort of your benefactors out of the way, the people kind of like pulling your strings up until that point.
Yeah.
I think that's when you can really explore what's out there, because like they're just like, honestly, like the way I know you mentioned earlier, it seemed really weird that, you know, the darkness just gave away powers, but like, I don't know, man. Like I don't think anyone does this in real life, but what's the cliche in movies when the drug dealer just gives you the first taste is free?
It's to get you hooked. It's to get you addicted to darkness. Which,
like, I don't believe that's real life, but like that is a trope. So like,
yeah.
But yeah, so like that always makes me that always makes me wonder if maybe that was sort of the darkness's angle, but like, yeah, because we gotta see the hive. The hive have been the largest and like the biggest face for the darkness in their war against the light, which right now we only know as the Traveler. And so it really makes me wonder, like, what really ends? Is it the Doritos or is it the Hive? Or the Worm Gods?
Yeah. True. That is true. The Worm Gods are still out there. We could fight them. We could fight... I guess we could just kill all of the Vex. All of them. Somehow. Find the Vex creation factories and just blow them up.
Well, I'd also be interested to see, because, like, there's not enough Worm Gods for all that the Hive worship. Like, who's to say they haven't interacted with other species in the galaxy or the universe?
True. That would be
Like,
terrifying.
Can come at us in, like, new imaginative ways. Not to scare everyone, sorry.
No, it's really interesting to think about, I guess, with the Hive, because I think they're cool.
Mm-hmm. For sure. I definitely, yeah, I'm interested to see. I'm glad to see, you know, because Destiny kind of, a lot of its most famous, like, story ramp up and lore expansions have centered around the Hive, and I think it's really fitting that they're going to be center stage again. Yeah.
Yeah, the Hive expansions are always the best. Minus Shadowkeep. We don't talk about Shadowkeep. That was mainly... I guess, yeah, it was Hive themed. But, shh, we don't talk about that one, because that was just a nostalgia.
That was the Crota. That was the Dark Below.
Yeah, that was
of
the
the
Dark
second
Below
round Hive releases.
Of the Hive releases. There we go. See?
I was going to say, no one really liked Dark Below either, but everyone loved Taken King.
Yes.
If for anyone who wants to disagree with me, like, oh no, I like that raid. I mean, there were parts of that raid that were fun, but then once you got, like, once you realized what a light gate it was, what a light level gate it was, like, you're just like, this is dumb. I don't ever want to do this again. Not that I don't have nostalgia with it. It was fun, but, like, the amount of things that, like, that were ridiculous when it was at its most difficult level setting was just like, yeah, yep, and I am happy to never do that again. Okay, bye-bye. Like,
pretty much, yeah.
All right.
I agree.
I think did you have any was there anything we missed? Did you have anything else you wanted to explore for potential power stuff there, Lucy?
What if how we get the darkness subclasses we have to eat a Hive worm?
What if it's Savathun's worm?
That's how we get rid of the worm. We chop it up into little tiny pieces and every guardian gets a little tiny piece and then they eat it.
Mm-hmm. If we tried to eat it singularly, we would all be screwed, but if we spread it around, we can all handle it.
Exactly. See, there we go. Now we're thinking.
It's like a little pill. Just swallow it.
Exactly.
That is that's how we got it. That is the most My Hero Hero Academia thing. Like, just eat this. Just eat my hair. It's okay. He's gotta
eat this. And the guy's like, what?
No. Trust me. What is it? Like, I want to tell you.
Eat it. Eat the hair. Instead of eating the hair, it's eat the tiny piece of hive worm.
You get the hairy piece. Can't waste any of it. You gotta eat the hairy piece. Oh. Okay. See, is there? Did you have any shout outs this week?
Do you have any shout outs this week?
Yeah.
I don't know. Can't think of any. I'm always bad at these. I'm always bad at the shout outs.
There are no bad shout outs.
Yes.
Think of it that way.
I guess. You go first. I'll try and think of something.
All right. I'm going to go first. I want to give a shout out to the Destiny community. They've been, especially the lore community has been very, very cool. And welcoming and getting excited for the stuff Lucy and I have been putting down. We'll be next month on the Guardian Downcast. Excited for that.
Ooh. Yes, very exciting.
Heard it here first. Sorry to steal your thunder, guys. But we're very excited, and we have a lot of cool stuff coming up for you. So really, to all of them and all of you listening, that's my shout out this week.
Definitely, that's awesome. That's awesome. I guess. Yeah, I don't have anyone to shout out because I can't think of anything because my brain is mush. Absolute mush. My brain is the size of a pea. I'm a dinosaur. Dinosaurs have really tiny brains. So that's why I'm a dinosaur, because I have a very tiny brain. Because I can't think of anything.
Aw. I'm sorry. If you think of one between now and Sunday, we can splice in. And I'm not going to cut this out. I'm just going to splice it in.
No.
No, I'll cut it.
Gee, thanks. No.
I'll make sure. I'll make sure you're represented well if you can think of one, and it can be for anything. It's not meant to be pressured. It's not something like I even really plan ahead of time usually. It just come from the gut. It's that's the one part of the show that is entirely just your platform. So say what you want.
Yes.
So yeah. All right. Well. With that, everyone, stay safe out there. Stay hydrated. It is a lot on certain hemispheres. It is the hot part of the year.
Yes.
And on the other parts where it's cold, you stay hydrated too, because that's how they get you.
Good job. 10 out of 10.
Thank you. Stay safe, stay hydrated. We'll see you guys next time. And until then, bye-bye.
Noodles. That's the end of this week's topic, but be sure to check out our past and future episodes on Spotify, iTunes, and Podbean. If you have any questions about this week's topic, want to discuss DestinyLore with us, or just feel like reaching out, you can find us on Twitter at Spinfoil Theory, or you can email us via spinfoiltheory@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. Toodles!